The holiday season is known for bringing family and friends together and creating happy memories. But for some, holiday memories are surrounded by tragedy.
This month, we will be sharing one unsolved missing person story every single day. We hope sharing their story will help bring them home for the holidays.
Saturday, December 28th, 2002, was a chilly winter day in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, with a high of 41 and a low of 26 degrees. 27-year-old Christian Maldonado and 32-year-old George Velez were cousins planning to spend the evening together. Christian was a Hispanic male, 5'6" tall, and weighed around 185 pounds. George stood about 5'7" tall and weighed around 240 pounds. The two were headed from Christian's home to go out for the evening. The plans were to head to Dangerous Curves. Dangerous Curves is a gentleman's club off of Tacony Street in Philadelphia. The two headed out in the 1992 blue Toyota driven by George. I do not have what model it was, just know that it was a blue Toyota. There is little to no information about these two out there. Not what they did for a living, not who they were growing up, very little information. There has also been no evidence released stating that the authorities do have proof that the two even made it to Dangerous Curves that evening. There isn't even any information as to who reported them missing or when. The
Holy
last known
crap.
Mhm. The last known location of the two was at Christian's home on South 27th Street in Camden, New Jersey, just 9 miles from the club.
Camden is a rough area, though.
The Toyota would later be found in a junkyard in Philadelphia. Don't know how long after, don't know by who it was found. Still unclear as to how it was even found.
But most likely wasn't impounded because police would have a record of that, I would hope.
Whether the junkyard owner came forward and shared the information with law enforcement, or if they found it based on their own leads, no clue. The New Jersey Camden County Police Department is the agency that is investigating this disappearance, but the investigation slows basically immediately. In 2005, Dangerous Curves was acquired by another entertainment venue, and the name changed to Club Risque.
Okay.
This happened just months after the FBI had raided the establishment seeking evidence against the owners. The owners were sentenced to 3 years in federal prison on gun and fraud convictions.
Oh.
The investigation led to a councilman also being convicted on corruption charges the following
Oh,
year. One rather extensive search was done for Christian and George, but zero evidence was found. Or if evidence was found, it has never been released. Given the history of the establishment, did this have anything to do with their disappearance? Did they stumble into something they weren't supposed to? How did the Toyota end up in the junkyard? Was it impounded there? Did someone dump it there? Was it abandoned and the junkyard owner just took it upon himself to clean up the streets of Camden? No one knows. At least the general public does not know.
wow.
I have more questions than answers related to this case, but these two still deserve to have their missing posters and missing information shared in hopes that someone has some sort of information. Perhaps you were at the establishment that night and you saw something go down. Maybe there was a fight in the parking lot and suddenly you remember. These things happen.
It's crazy. Two grown men. Is there anything? Did the family say anything?
Not publicly. There's
Dang.
not a statement. There is not a press release. There is not a candlelight vigil that I could find. And this is 2002. It's not the
Yeah.
Stone Ages.
Yeah. We get way more information from the Stone Age, it sounds like.
Exactly.
Wow.
Christian Maldonado was described as a Hispanic male, 5'6" tall, 185 pounds, black eyes, black hair, and has a tattoo of a dragon on his left arm. What he was wearing that evening is unknown, but he did regularly wear a gold neck chain. He would be 47 years old today and is classified as endangered missing. George Velez was described as a Hispanic male with brown hair and brown eyes, 5'7" tall, and 230 pounds. He would be 52 years old today. He did own the 1992 blue Toyota that they were last known to be driving to the establishment. and he is also classified as endangered missing. If you have any information on the disappearance of either Christian Maldonado or George Velez, please contact the Camden County Police Department at 856-757-7440 or the Camden County Sheriff's Office at 856-225-5470. This also makes me bring up the thought that because these are both Hispanic male, they are considered a minority in our
Oh, yeah.
country. Do we feel that the reason there is no information out there is because they have not done an adequate investigation or they have not pushed it into the media as much as it's needed?
I would assume that, as well as I can only imagine Camden, New Jersey's workload. I think it's probably one of the roughest areas, like the top 10 roughest areas in all of the United States. That makes it okay for their case not to be out there. It that I Even after all of this time and all this work that we do, it still shocks me that people can go missing and just vanish.
Mm.
Hard to comprehend that.
Especially with zero information. So, like, who reported them missing? How did anyone know that they were missing? Was it days? Was it hours? Were they supposed to have New Year's dinner a couple days later with their family? And when they didn't show up, that's when they got concerned.
You would think it being two people, cousins, so there obviously has to be a family, like aunts,
Mhm.
uncles, parents, other cousins. Like, that's a lot because sometimes people don't have any family and they just it they're off the radar from anybody. Nobody reports them missing because they don't have anyone that even knows they're missing. It seems like these two would have had some people to report
Yeah,
them and to ask those questions. So it's very strange.
I agree.